and get in the chat on YouTube. Okay, everybody that's coming in right now, I see y'all. I see y'all. Click on that link at the top. The
Side too, but I also understand the streets and understand these YouTubers and the narratives and what they're reading. And
Right.
that says, in this case, there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government. Okay? In the
Right.
world of the streets, when they hear proffer, right,
Hmm.
automatically assume cooperation. And I'm going to tell you why. If one goes to Google and puts in government factual proffer, the verbiage of that is a government factual proffer is a meeting between a criminal defendant or witness and the government where the defendant shares information with the government in exchange for limited immunity, right? Now, in the world of YouTube land and the world of the streets, Napoleon, for all of y'all don't know, Napoleon is Pooh Shiesty's actual legal attorney that handled his case. So he has more in-depth paperwork, more in-depth information than what I consider to be shallow, right? The words I read in the document I got from Pooh Shiesty's father, and then the definition I just gave you is a simple Google definition. Didn't
Right.
come from legal, didn't come from uh, anything like that, a DOJ, nothing like that. Now, Napoleon, um, can you? The first thing I read, I want you to authenticate, right, that that is a line in Pooh's document. In this case, there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government. And,
That's not a line in any document that I've seen. So
okay,
what
well,
you're talking about is
hold on. Let me
that
get this to you, brother, because I
okay.
got this. I got this from his father, right? This document came from his father, so I want to send it to you because
Okay.
when we're done with this today, one way or another, I want it to be closure, right?
Right.
Um, we represent a movement called the Exposers, and we're not here just to expose people on bad shit, but we're here to
Hmm.
clear things up,
Right.
people. So did you see the text I just sent you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I got sent this morning from his dad. So I really want you to authenticate that that is a actual some documents from Pooh Shiesty's case.
Okay, so what you're looking at right now
Uh huh.
is that this is I don't know if this is a document in his case, but this looks like a legal filing by an attorney, and it just says in this case there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government, and the appellant's sworn adoption of this proffer also clearly establishes his guilt of the killing of David Jones. Pooh Shiesty wasn't on trial for the killing of David Jones, so I don't know specifically where this
Okay.
document came from in the case I
Now,
was representing him on.
now Napoleon, this is
Hmm.
why I need his dad here
Right.
because when I got a call this morning and woke up,
Hmm.
these are the things that was sent to me, right? And I hate to say it, but if this is a document that has nothing to do with Pooh Shiesty's case, now the question is, why did he send this to me? Because even with that verbiage, as you're looking at it,
Right.
is not in favor of Pooh. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
So
let me. I'm sorry. Go
go ahead,
ahead.
break it down. I want you to break it down to its goats.
Hmm.
Do your research because I know you have since went and pulled everything. And let's hear the legal out, right? And then Ghost, we can have a conversation if it's something in there that there's a discrepancy with. We've already established that the form I was sent this morning from Pooh's dad is not Pooh's case. Is that right, Mr.
Okay.
Napoleon?
That's correct. So let me actually read you the factual proffer that was used in the case. It says that the United States of America and the defendant's counsel agree that had this case gone to trial, the United States would have proven the following facts, amongst other, occurred in Miami-Dade County, Southern District of Florida, and elsewhere, beyond a reasonable doubt, and that such facts are sufficient to establish the defendant's guilt to the offenses charged in the indictment. So that is a quote directly from the factual proffer in Pooh Shiesty's case and his co-defendant Bobby Brown's case. Every single defendant in federal court, if they want to plead guilty to the offense charge, they have to sign a factual proffer statement because the courts require defendants to admit to their guilt if they're pleading guilty.
Okay,
If a
Mr.
defendant will not admit to the factual proffer, the judge will force them to go to trial. So
Okay.
a factual proffer is necessary just to plead guilty in the case.
Okay, so we agree that he signed a factual proffer. We can agree on that.
Of course, just like every other defendant who pleads guilty.
Okay, now here's the thing. If you guys see Baby Runner pop in, bring him up. Here's the thing, right? And I know you're on the legal side.
Right.
On the street side and prison side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I go further, the proffer, is it sealed? Is it something that nobody can see?
See, now there you go. So you're listening. It's interesting that you use those words.
I'm asking you.
No, I know, but I want to answer that. And it's two parts to the question.
Go ahead.
Because the factual proffer, for purposes of a plea, is not sealed. That is a court record. It's a public document. If someone was cooperating with the government and gave a proper statement to the government, that document would be sealed, and it's not a public record.
I'm glad you said that, because what I'm getting to is when we see safety valve or we see proffer, right?
Right.
The reason why they automatically find you guilty in the courts of the political aspects of the streets and prison is because we can't see what you said.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you just gave me two examples of if you gave up information or snitched, right? Then that proffer, correct me if I'm wrong, that proffer would in fact be sealed.
Correct.
Okay. This type of proffer that Pooh Shiesty signed to, which you're saying your client just signed to admitting to his crime only, right?
Right, correct.
It's available.
That's available as a public record, just like every other defendant who actually pleads guilty to a particular offense, gives a factual proffer, and takes a plea. That is a public record, and you can actually see what's written in the factual proffer. I want to correct something too. So there is a safety valve, and I want to. This is something.
Okay, stop right now.
Go ahead.
Are you saying? Because a lot of people, we gotta know, we understand it. My panel understands it, but we got a lot of people in the chat. So you're saying Pooh Shiesty does have a safety valve?
No, I'm not saying that Pooh Shiesty has a safety valve.
Okay.
I was just about to correct your contention that if a person cooperated with the government, that's the only way you can get safety valve. People can get safety valve without cooperating with the government. Like, for example, if you're a first-time offender and you don't have the requisite criminal history points, you can get safety valve just because you don't have a criminal history. So
let me add to that. There's 5 stages, and I learned this from my guy, Baby Runner. There's 5 points to a safety valve. A, that you do not have a prior criminal record. B, you're not head of the criminal organization.
Correct.
C, there was no violence in the crime. D, you took your plea in a timely manner.
Correct.
And E, the 5th one is you cooperated with the government. Those are the 5 elements.
Right. So
by the book.
No, that's not accurate. There are plenty of people who did not cooperate with the government that are still eligible for a safety valve. So you can get a safety valve as a first-time offenders. As a matter of fact, a lot of people get safety valve for certain type of cases where it's not related to violent crimes or drugs or things like that. It's inaccurate to say that somebody got a safety valve and that means that they cooperated with the government. All that means is that.
Go ahead. we can't see what statement, and if you can you pull the document that I know you have on
Right.
Pooh to show that unlike others being sealed, Pooh's statement of to his statement on himself is actually available because I'm sure you would have it, right?
Yeah. So it's on the clerk of court's website. I don't know if I can publicly put it on a platform
You
because
have a
it
docket
is.
number.
Yeah, I do have the docket entry number. If you give me a second,
Give
I
the
could tell
people the
you.
docket number. That'll
Okay.
suffice for it.
And I want to make something clear too. Every single defendant in this case
Mhm.
signed the same factual proffer. Okay.
No,
All
we
of
get
them said,
that.
huh?
We get that, but it's been cases where every single defendant signed the proffer and all of them told too. So, and we're not concerned with the other ones. We just concerned personally with Pooh. He's the name. He's the one that whatever. So
Right.
if you can give us that docket number where to find it, right?
Hmm.
That will really help everybody. So when this comes up, people could go read for themselves that Pooh's information, unlike others, right, is available. Like
Okay.
Blue Da
Good.
Vinci, he did a safety valve, but
No, he did
his
not get safety valve. I want to be clear about that.
no Blue Da Vinci got a safety valve.
Oh,
We got
Blue
his
Da Vinci. I'm
paperwork.
sorry. I was
Yeah,
trying to type
but
in the.
when we go to look for the statement is not available, right? So we do know Pooh Shiesty did not have a safety valve. He just has this stage of a proffer, but his proffer is available for people to see what he actually signed and what statement he gave. And the statement he gave was him admitting guilt for his personal crime, correct?
Exactly. That's
Got
correct.
it. Okay, so if you can give the people like a docket number and a location they can find it, that would definitely help us.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll tell you right now.
Gotcha.
Hey,
And
Ghost, you looked it up?
Where's Ghost at? Is Ghost here? Is
Yeah,
me
yeah,
and
I'm right
Ghost
here.
here?
I'm right here.
Did you
All
look
right.
it up?
Ghost, you following what
He gonna
Mr.
give
Your
us the
phone.
Napoleon
website
saying,
right
right?
now.
Yeah, yeah, I hear exactly what he's saying. I'm following.
Okay. All right.
and I want to go one further for y'all too, by the way.
Good. That's what
So
we here for, brother.
in this particular case, there is a transcript of the sentencing hearing. Okay. So at sentencing, I can guarantee you this, that had Pooh Shiesty cooperated with the government, he will be jumping up and down about how he helped the government and all these things, and all that would be in the record of the sentencing transcript when he got sentenced to prison. But none of that is there. None of it is about him telling on somebody else. None of it is about him cooperating with the government. I was at all of the hearings, and I am telling you for a fact, nobody in this case cooperated. Shiesty didn't cooperate. His co-defendants didn't cooperate. Nobody cooperated. I'll send you the transcript of the
Right.
sentencing hearing, and I don't know. I hear a backdrop. I don't know if that's me or somebody else.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll give the docket entry number for the sentencing transcript too, just in case anybody's interested in reading it. Because I'm telling you right now, there's nothing in there whatsoever. It was like, oh yeah, we cooperated with the government, so therefore we're eligible for, as you put it, the safety valve, and therefore we should get a lighter sentence.
Well,
It
let
don't
me clear
exist.
that up.
Right.
Nowhere in Pooh Shiesty paperwork did we see phrase or term safety valve. Right?
Right.
Let's clear that up.
Right.
What we did see was, let me make sure I'm dead on spot with this terminology, and this would spark the interest of everybody. What we did see was a government factual proffer, and that's what you're clearing up, what that really means. And the government factual proffer in Pooh Shiesty's situation, unlike other proffers, is available public record where you can actually see everything that was said and everything that was agreed upon and signed off by Pooh Shiesty. Am I correct?
That's correct.
There we have it. So, he's going to provide the docket number and the location to everybody down in the Google, to everybody out here in blogger land, YouTube land. So that way, when this young man come home, right, he can jumpstart, get back to his career, his family, his loved ones, and he don't have to deal with this. Um, we're here to either show that he did wrong or show that he did nothing wrong. So his attorney is here, Mr. Napoleon. That is his attorney that saw through the whole case, and he's providing the actual docket numbers. He's providing the location where you can go see this form of Pooh Shiesty proffer. And what he's stating is that Pooh Shiesty only gave information admitting to his guilt on this particular crime, not involving anybody else. Am I right, Mr. Napoleon?
Correct. And I just want to make sure that something is clear too.
Go
So
ahead.
what it actually says is that the United States, the defendant and defendant's counsel agree that had this case gone to trial, the United States would have been able to prove the following facts that are sufficient to establish the defendant's guilt to the offenses charged in the indictment. So I just want to make sure that this is not a statement that anyone gave to the government. Nobody in this case, none of the defendants sat down and talked to the government. This document was prepared by the government, that was reviewed by counsel, all of us, and we agreed, all of the defendants, that this is the factual proffer for everybody. So it begs the question, who did he snitch on if everybody signed this same factual proffer? Everybody has the same one. Everybody
I
Okay.
got
has.
a question.
Go
So
ahead.
did he tell on another case? Because why would the daddy send Wack 100 some other paperwork?
That has nothing. I can tell you right now. Listen, there were a lot of cases or a lot of incidents that the government was trying to link him to. Okay, this has nothing. The only conviction that he has is in this particular case. There are no other cases. I don't know why he would send this particular document. I don't know if he sent that as an example to show what a factual proffer is,
No,
No,
he
but that
sent that.
sweetie.
He,
He's saying that because of um he basically saying he snitched to get a lower time or cooperate with the case that you
what?
proving right now.
No,
right.
what
So
he
Let's
I'll
just
sent
so
get
it.
to
listen.
He
Napoleon.
sent
I'm
it. Let me
sorry.
let me let me make sure because I was the one on the phone with him. He sent it because we were using the terminology proffer, right, Napoleon,
Right.
and he was like, "No, it was a government factual proffer, meaning this was the information that the government gathered, right, and presented." So when they went and defined government factual proffer, the definition of the government factual proffer said something totally different, right? So at that point is when he got you on the phone, right? So I said, you know what? Let's just clear it up. You can put all the documents. And have you found
I have. So
the
the
docket
factual
number?
proffer was given on January 4th of 2022. Is docket entry number 154.
Okay, and where could the people find that?
Well, you have to have access to the federal court's online system. So anyone who has a lawyer that is licensed to practice in federal court can pull that up.
Well, can I ask you something?
Yes,
Since
sir.
our since your purpose is here to clear up, right?
Hmm.
This misconception of what
Right.
this type of proffer is. Will
Hmm.
you be willing to provide the documents so we can just let people notice what it is?
Right. So, like I told you before, I don't. I have to be careful about what I can and cannot provide, especially on from the government's database. But I'll tell you this: we ordered the trial, we ordered the sentencing hearing transcripts. We paid for that out of our own money. Okay, so
Okay.
I can provide you with the sentencing hearing transcripts where you could see for
No,
yourself.
but sweetie, you have to understand. You have
Hold
to
on.
provide every single thing.
No,
So
what I'm saying.
how can we go on record and saying that he did not tell if we only could give half of it? We need the full
So
thing.
what
Okay,
I'm
why don't you
saying
do
is
this? Turn off the live. I'll show it to you. I just don't want me putting it
no,
on the
no.
live.
Listen.
Go ahead.
This is me, right? I'm
Right.
asking you, right?
Right.
The document that Pooh
Hmm.
Shiesty gave the factual proffer on
Right.
about his involvement. only,
Correct.
right? Being clear,
Mm-hmm.
right? Could you provide me with that document, right? Me personally, so I can. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
right now. It could be after we're
Yes.
done. Because
Yes.
what I'm saying is, if it's in favor of Pooh, then I don't think that should be a problem.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
No, of course.
Okay, great.
Right.
All right, so we'll handle that
And,
after the
and I'm
fact.
telling you, I will one up you. I will give you the full sentencing transcript where you can see for yourself. I'm on there, Sam Zangane's on there, Brad Cohen is on there. We were a team together that represented these individuals. Nobody is going to say that they should have received a lower sentence because they cooperated with the government. This is the sentencing
Did he
hearing.
get the mandatory minimum or did he get below?
So the government was basically trying to make this into a Hobbs Act robbery. They wanted him to go to jail for 20 years. So what we did is we flew to Memphis. We went to all these other places to make sure that we understood all the different cases, all the different events that they were trying to tie them to. And so we did our homework, we did our due diligence, and we got a very, very good result for all of the individuals who were involved. They tried to throw the book at him. If you look at his indictment, and if you look at the counts of the indictment, and if you look at some of the other things that the government filed and what they were trying to give him, it's telling. Okay, it's very telling.
So Napoleon, what I'm asking, right, is
Mhm.
this for what you guys end up with his charges, his bottom line charges were, right?
Right.
Did he get below his
Below.
mandatory minimum or did he get mandatory minimum and above? Like what was
There
his
was no
mandatory
mandatory.
minimum?
There was no mandatory minimum. The way that it happened is that he pled guilty to one specific count in the indictment that did not have a minimum mandatory sentence. So
Gotcha.
therefore, the federal sentencing guidelines kick in, and you get to argue about what the guideline range should be.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. What range did he fall into? You don't mind me asking.
Well, what the government suggested or what we suggested?
No, what well,
What did
what
he get?
what
Did
is
he get
bottom
less
line?
time than everybody on the case?
No,
No.
so what I'm asking you, Napoleon, is usually they'll say, okay, mandatory minimum 60 months, and it can range up to um 98 months. I'm just giving a
Right.
an
So what you're
example,
talking
right?
about is the guideline range.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so if you give me 1 second, I'm going to explain the charge that he pled guilty to and what the government suggested the guideline range should be, and then what we ultimately proved the guideline range was. And it's going to be important so that I can explain the distinction to you.
Okay,
Okay, so
great.
just give me 1 second. Let me pull it up.
No problem. Go. Did Baby Runner come in here?
I see him.
Okay. And to Big Bank Hank, Wack looking crazy because the lawyer's shooting down every point he's trying to make. Wack's not trying to make any points. Wack is asking the questions that the people are asking because I have legal here that can clear up more than just a blogger or some guy sitting at the corner store. So that's what Wack's asking. So that way we can cover it A to Z and leave no stone unturned. That way when we leave this situation, that young man come home, whatever the outcome is of the answers and the documents provided is what it is. That's my stance in this whole situation. Um,
Give me
Ghost.
2 seconds. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm
Okay.
scrolling down because there was a lot of documents that were filed in this case. And we had to combat a lot of information. So I'm scrolling to try to get to the right portion. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, so to anybody watching, like Wack said, we're here to just get the truth, whether it be to help someone or not. It ain't biased. It's not against nobody. We actually got his family and his team here, so we just want the truth. That's it.
That way, everybody in the world that's speaking a lie, they can come back to this link and they can hear the truth. And pretty sure whatever question or whatever somebody's saying, the attorney, Mr. Napoleon, he would have been asked that question, and you would have heard him answer it, and then give direction on where you can go look for it, look at it yourself. That's all
Okay.
it's about.
So let me explain to you how everything worked. So there was a superseding indictment that charged him with several different counts. Everybody with several different counts.
Uh-huh.
Hobbs Act robbery, conspiracy to commit Hobbs Act robbery, and all these other things. We were going to trial. We were preparing for trial. We flew to Memphis. We flew to all these different places because the government was trying to get us to plead to something that we just were not going to do. They were what, 22 years old around that age at the time, and spending 20 years of your life in jail just didn't make any sense. So as a compromise, the government offered everybody in this case to plead to one count of conspiracy to possess firearms in furtherance of a violent and drug trafficking crime. Okay, so that's what they actually pled guilty to. Now, that particular portion of the United States Code, or that particular crime, does not have a specific offense level. Okay, so what does that mean? You have to look at the facts and the circumstances of the case to determine what the guideline range should be. The government was trying to hold Bobby Brown, Pooh, Shiesty, and everybody else to the firearms conspiracy charge in furtherance of an attempted murder. All right. The government was trying to say that the applicable guideline range should be 97 months. Now, again, there's no minimum mandatory penalty, but they were saying that the guideline range should be 97 months. We argued that it was not a robbery. This, at best, was an aggravated assault. And we said that the guideline range should have a lower offense level based on the fact that this is an aggravated assault. If you look at the sentencing hearing transcripts, the judge ultimately agreed with us after looking at the video that this was not a robbery. This was an aggravated assault. So therefore, the guideline range substantially decreased down to approximately 46 months, and that's what the judge sentenced them to. The government was asking for a whole lot in the beginning. They changed their position, dropped down, and then the judge still ultimately agreed with us that the guideline range should be lower than what the government was suggesting, because you got to get you a paid lawyer, and that's what happens when you do.
So at the end of the day, the 97 months, after you guys argued what certain charges shouldn't be, what did it come down to?
To the 46 months. Actually, Pooh's was a little bit higher because he had two offenses that were on camera, and the judge found that it was a aggravated assault for the incident in Bay Harbor Islands, and then also the one that was in the Gentlemen's Club.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember both. I'm definitely
Right.
the Gentlemen's Club. The Gentlemen's Club was a firearm situation, correct?
Correct.
And the Harbor one was allegedly a robbery, and I think they used some type of video or picture to identify the serial number of on the money. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, so Pooh left $40,000 behind, and that's what we argued. We said, Judge, if this was a robbery, why would he leave $40,000 and priceless music that he actually had in his bag that he recorded behind? This clearly was a situation that got out of control, and the reality of it is that the people who he supposedly robbed actually had firearms on them. A shot went off. Nobody knows what happened, and then bullets started flying. So we said, Judge, this wasn't a robbery. Who goes to a robbery in a green McLaren with $40,000 in priceless music in your bag and rob somebody over some gym shoes and some weed? That's stupid.
Without a shiesty mask.
Right, exactly.
Without a shiesty mask.
Right. Without a shiesty mask, that's dumb. Like that's just stupid. So, and the judge, as conservative as he is, actually agreed with us. He said this isn't a robbery. And so that's why he sentenced him to the lower guideline range.
So he got sentenced to the lower guideline range. But in this
Right.
situation case, to make sure I'm hearing it right,
Mm-hmm.
there was not a mandatory minimum, as was 46 the minimum.
No, there was no minimum mandatory penalty. The judge, listen, the judge could have went below the guideline range if he wanted to. He just chose not to because most of the time judges sentence within the guideline range. But there was no departure, or he didn't get departure rather. He didn't get some type of special treatment for cooperation. It's nowhere in the sentencing transcripts. It did not happen.
So everybody that's just pulling up, Mr. Napoleon is Pooh Shiesty's legal. We got Loose Cannon 600. Ghost, the exposures on deck on the panel. We're here to clear up the governmental proffer that's stated and stipulated in Pooh Shiesty's paperwork. The attorney is showing us and giving us guidance to where we can go find this paperwork. He's going to send it to me to where we can actually see what Pooh Shiesty signed for, what he agreed to, which was anything and everything that has something to do with his involvement in these two crimes. One being the gun situation at a club, another being attempted robbery or shooting at another location, right? So he's providing and showing us that that's not a sealed document, that is
Right.
in fact available for the public. He's offering to send that as well as other documents to me, which I will provide, and to show that his type of proffer, this type of proffer, did not involve him giving information on everybody else. It was simply him pleading out to what he was going to plead guilty to. Am I on point,
You are
Napoleon?
on point with that. I just want to add one little caveat to that. There may be other people's names like Bobby Brown and Jayden DeRosa that was in there and it had information that they had. They had to put that in there for the link to this quote unquote conspiracy. But remember, everybody
I'll
signed
stop
the same.
right there.
Go ahead.
Did Pooh precisely, did he collaborate things about these people's names?
No, there he never,
I'm,
never,
I'm,
he
I'm
never.
just, I'm asking you the questions.
Right.
And when you say these things, I know what they're thinking, so I got to clear them up as we go, right?
Okay, so let me be crystal clear. Nobody, Pooh Shiesty, Bobby Brown, or Jayden DeRosa sat down with the government. Nobody. Okay. The government gave everybody basically the same factual proffer statement. Okay. And what I mean by that, the factual proffer that every defendant has to take so that they are eligible to plead guilty to a crime. Okay. So the proffer statement that I'm talking about is a public record that he needed to sign so that he could plead guilty. If he didn't sign it, he couldn't plead guilty and he would basically be forced to go to trial. So what I'm explaining to you is that when you see people's names in there, you're going to see the only other names you're going to see are the people that were pleading guilty with him. So everybody pled guilty and everybody got the same factual proffer. And those three people who was his co-conspirators, that was their name, but they were sitting right next to him when they all signed it together. So it's not like they told on somebody. They all agreed that this is what happened and they were all there together at that particular point in time. You're muted.
So
Wack,
when
you're
you
mute.
say that they all agreed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me that each individual only agreed to what they did? None of these individuals, especially Pooh Shiesty, collaborated the government's or law enforcement's charges against anyone else other than himself.
What I'm telling you is that's correct. But it's even more important to point out the fact that he didn't agree to anything. He just agreed that if we were to go to trial, it's essentially saying that's what the government is saying that they're going to prove. Okay? That's what it is.
600, you got some questions?
Not too many questions. I think this kind of like sums up a little bit. I do want to give a shout out to Pooh because months back he posted a picture of him and some guys, and he put a rat over somebody. And for his age group and his era, I thought that was a big step because a lot of dudes in that era don't really speak like that or actually show that stuff on social media. So I gave him a shout out for that. All this stuff has been a lot of speculation for me. I never really saw nothing too concrete, but I'm glad that we got his lawyer to kind of like, give us some closure, even without those documents.
Right.
I think it's a better understanding, for him and his fans to see that. I think from what I came from this is that he just basically spoke up for himself,
Right.
pled guilty for himself
Right.
to get it out the way.
That's
Um,
exactly.
if no one else is implicated in it, and what he said, I think
Yeah,
he'll be okay if he
I
cares
know,
about being
but
okay with it.
listen, what I just found out is that he's in other people's paperwork.
But whose
He,
paperwork are you suggesting? Who you saying he's in? Because if we
he's
don't,
in his co-defendant paperwork. She was like, he just said that um the time that he was supposed to get, the recommended time is 20 years. Pooh Shiesty only got 4.
no, he said that's what he was facing, and I
No,
believe.
that was the time. That's the bare minimum.
No,
No,
Are you talking about Jaden DeRosa?
Yeah, Pooh
He did not
Shiesty
get 20
was in
years.
paper. No, Pooh Shiesty was in his paperwork. His name with a statement. Can you clear that up?
Okay, so and this is what I was trying to explain to you. Okay, if Pooh Shiesty is in Jaden DeRosa's paperwork, that doesn't mean that Pooh Shiesty sat down and talked to somebody. All that means is that Jaden DeRosa, what he's trying to do, Jaden DeRosa is basically trying to say, why did I get sentenced? I think he got sentenced to 8 years when Pooh Shiesty got sentenced to 4 or 5. That's what Jaden
He got
DeRosa
sent.
was. Go
okay,
ahead.
Listen,
when you say Luke
I
that
got
Pooh
him in the
Shiesty's in
background.
the paperwork, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Are you saying
with a
that?
statement.
Are you saying that there's a statement where it says whatever Pooh Shiesty's first and last name says, such and such individuals confirms or says this
No.
individual? If so, Ghost is Ghost in here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Ghost, what is it that Luke? Are you seeing any of this, or what is it that you're seeing? So we can clear this up, or
What I
one way
see,
or another.
and this is what I wanted to ask the attorney is in that factual proffer, right? Those
Yeah.
when Autumn did that factual proffer and the statements that's in that factual proffer where they're admitting each other's names about the crimes that they did or whatever, right? About the crime that they committed, right? When they went for their sentencing to accept that plea, did they have to admit to that stuff and say those people names as well?
Never.
So
Never.
so
That's
so
what I'm
did it
trying to explain to
when
y'all.
the judge read that out, did they have to agree to it or anything like that?
No.
They didn't have to
Listen,
agree.
I'm gonna
They didn't
send
have
you
to
the
agree to
sentence.
none of those facts. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that the factual proffer that the government put, they gave everybody the same thing. So let's just say, for example,
No,
that
Pooh
all
Shiesty. Nobody name will be in somebody's paperwork, sweetheart.
I'm not
Nobody.
your sweetheart, but I'm just telling you,
Yeah,
like,
listen,
Luke, this is the
I'm
attorney.
I'm
Let's
letting you
address.
know right now that nobody name will be in somebody's paperwork, and
you don't know what you're
that's
talking
facts.
about. So let me explain to you
No,
because
that's
if you let me
facts.
finish, go
Let him
ahead. Let me tell
talk.
you
Let him
facts.
talk.
So
Let him talk.
wax. This is what it is. Okay, me, you, and 600. Right? We go and we rob a McDonald's. It's on camera. Okay, they got the camera showing that we all robbed it. Right? And then we like, you know what? We ain't about to go to trial. We just gonna go and we're gonna take our plea and we just gonna argue what our sentence should be. The government present me, you, and 600 a piece of paper saying on this particular day, y'all 3 people went there and you agreed that if we went to trial, that's what we would prove, right? And you got a video of it. Is that telling on somebody? Is that having somebody in
Well,
somebody's
me
paperwork?
personally,
Yes,
yeah, me
yes.
personally, right? The only thing I'm going to collaborate is what I did. I can look at a video of you and 600, and if they say, is that 600 and that Napoleon? No answer. I'm going to
Right.
say, that's me in the red
No,
hoodie.
So let
Yeah,
me ask you a
that
question.
yeah.
So let me ask you a question. If 600 is right next to you and he say, "Yeah, that's me," are you snitching after 600 just said that? Yeah, that's me.
I'm not the
So
listen.
you
Yes, this
Here,
the
yeah,
thing.
in our world, right? In our world, right? In our world outside of the courts, right? This unorthodox world. If
Right,
you give a statement on anybody other than yourself, they're gonna call it telling, right? And see,
right.
this is where the word proffer comes in because when we hear proffer, we hear cooperating with the government, right?
Nah,
Now, I think what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong,
right.
you're trying to say these three individuals, whether speaking through you or the attorney speaking with each other,
Hmm.
all agreed to take the plea as structured. Is that what you're
Exactly.
That's
Correct.
what
no
you're trying to
Pooh
say, right?
Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty pointed the dude out, and
What?
that's facts.
Where is that
You
That's
at?
show me.
facts.
How about this? I'll put up
Listen,
my legal
it's a
fees. You
sealed
put up my
document.
legal
Hey, the
fees.
dude, the
No,
dude is
listen to me.
texting
Listen
me
to
right
me.
now. Dead
You
homie.
put up you. I'll put up my legal fees. You put up the money that I got paid. I'm gonna show you all the paperwork, and I want you to. I
Okay,
want you to show me that.
Okay,
show the world
Napoleon,
the
what's
paperwork
the
right now.
Napoleon? What's the
No, you not. No, you
no,
not.
Napoleon? What's the
Yeah.
legal?
Show the
How
world the
much? What's the
paperwork.
legal fees of the documents? Because at this point, right, either this whole situation is going to be worth something to where we clear it based upon what
Right.
we can see. Because what you've just said, and I want you to come down a little bit, right, and understand what I'm saying. When they say the word cooperating or snitching,
Mm-hmm.
right, they're going to say when you give any information on anybody other than yourself. And this is why it's a real thin line, right? When it comes down to your codees and all y'all saying, we're going to all disagree to this because we got this one individual I'm hearing that got 8 years who's questioning if we're all agreeing to this, then why did I get 8 and he get 4, right?
Facts.
And I think that's the where the discrepancy is at. I
You want to
understand
know
what
the
you're
answer to
saying.
that?
No, I understand what you're saying. So my question to you is, was there other attorneys that represent the other two individuals, or did you oversee all?
So I represented me, Brad Cohen, and Sam Zangane represented Pooh Shiesty. Jaden
Gotcha.
DeRosa did not. He didn't. He had an appointed attorney. Okay, his attorney did not come out to the places that we went to. And I want to clear something up because what you're insinuating is that somebody sat down with the government. Nobody sat down with the
That's
government
not
and told.
that's
Oh, oh,
that's not that that's not
listen,
what he's
yeah.
saying.
So
Yeah,
you
That's not
telling
what
me
he.
that
that's not the
all
point
of
he's
them was
making.
in
That's
a
not the point he's
so
making at
all
Hold
of
all.
on,
them
everybody can't talk at once. Go ahead,
okay,
Luke,
so
and then you
look,
go.
okay, so in the room getting questioned, they showed the video and everybody agreed that was them. That's what you're saying, right?
No, 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 no. See, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody said when that video was playing in court. Nobody was like, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's that person." Y'all know it. If y'all saw the video, there were people that were in that video that never got pointed out. Nothing ever got said about them, even though we know who they are. Nobody ever pointed to nobody. Nobody ever
Okay,
said
then
anything. That's what.
why Pooh Shiesty name is in his paperwork then?
Okay, well, why is Pooh Shiesty? What does that mean that he told him Pooh Shiesty? Is that what you're saying now?
Okay, then
Because the Pooh Shiesty name is in
no,
his
no, no,
paperwork.
no. Pooh Pooh Shiesty, his name is not in Pooh Shiesty paperwork because y'all try to separate the separate him from the case.
I don't know what you're. So when you say that Pooh Shiesty's
Y'all
name is
try
in
to
Pooh's
separate
paperwork,
it Pooh Shiesty from the rest of them.
that's not what happened. I'm telling you, that's
No,
not what happened.
y'all
That
tried
couldn't have
to.
been what happened because you saying if they all see for that to happen, that debunks what you say happened. You telling me all three of the defendants agreed to the deal that was offered, but
They
all
all
three,
agreed to plead guilty.
okay, but all three get different sentencing, or you know?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So one guy got 8, Pooh got 4. What the other guy get?
No, Pooh got 5, and Bobby Brown got 4.
So 4, 5, and 8. Pooh got the mid. He's
Right.
the guy in the middle. Okay, so but you're saying that all three Cody's, I'm gonna make sure I'm right, agreed to give statement or sign off on what they all did collectively.
What I'm pretty much that's how you have to do it. It's not that they all they told on each other. You're sitting in this is how it works. You got three people sitting in a room, okay? Sitting in front of a judge. And then the question is, are you going to agree to be plead guilty? And are you going to agree that if this case goes to trial, this is what the government says that they're going to prove? Are you
Okay,
in agreement with that?
now Napoleon, I need you to understand this. We
Right.
understand what the government want to do,
Right.
right? And if this was goddamn Bow Wow or somebody, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we also understand what the politics of the streets say we can't do.
Right.
And I think this is
So
that thin line. And I want you to hear this unorthodox,
right.
irrational way of shit, right?
Listen, bro, I grew
Okay,
up in Detroit in the 80s, so I get it. I know I got
you
on the
get
suit
what
and
I'm
all that
saying,
other
right?
stuff, but I
You get
understand
what
what
I'm saying.
you're saying.
So what you're saying is, look, my client and the other two clients all came together because the government is saying we are willing to give you 8, you 5, and you 4 if all three of you guys agree to these terms and the details of this document. On that document, it not only spelled out what Pooh Shiesty's involvement was, but it spelled out what the other two people's involvement was. Am I right?
And those other two people were there, but I want to clear something up really
No, no, no.
quickly
I just no, no,
because you
no,
don't
no.
get sentenced at the time that you agree to this document.
No,
So
I
those are
understand that. I understand
right.
that. This is what's being offered. So the other two individuals signed the same document, right?
Everybody signed the same document.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say this, right? And I might be a little out of line for it. And Ghost, Loose, 600, everybody on it, y'all call me out on it. It is what it is, right? How I'm seeing this is me, 600 and Loose, we got caught doing the robbery. Nigga, we looking at 20. Legal that came together. Because of your criminal history, you looking at 8. Because of yours, you looking at 4. Because of mine, I'm looking at 5. We reading it. It says 600 was the driver, Loose was the gunman, and Wack, you gave the order on my paperwork. On 600 paperwork, it reads the same. On Loose paperwork, it reads the same, right? Now,
Right.
we know, according to the streets, that when we sign this document and
Before you
anybody
go into the
sees,
streets, I'm about to say the rest, and then we'll say the street later.
yeah, look, according to the streets, if anybody sees this document I signed with the word proffer in any way tied to it, they're going to say, I signed a document giving involvement on other people other than myself. Am I right?
Facts.
So but although all three of us have agreed, fuck it, bro, if this would it take for us to get the 8, the 5, and the 4, right? You cool with it? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We signed it,
Right.
right? And the reason why I'm saying this, right? And once I say this, it's gonna open up all kind of doors and windows. Now I'm asking you, Loose, and 600, and you, Ghost, and other individuals in here. If we all agree to it, right? And these some young niggas, was they snitching on each other or was they in support of what they were signing, knowing that everybody's documents had the other names on it?
Okay, look, listen. First of all, we're gonna go to trial because if we was all
No,
in
no, no.
the
But see, that ain't
same,
the
No,
situation.
he asked a question.
That ain't the situation, Luz. We talking about what this is. We know what we gonna do. It ain't even a. I'm gonna tell you, sign it. I'm not signing shit until
So
it
I'm gonna go
say
first.
That's
Cash
bullshit
Joe.
when you facing life
So
and they
I'm gonna
got
go
that shit
first.
on camera. People
So
can talk all that tough shit
No,
they
no,
want
no,
to,
Napoleon.
but
I
I'm
hear
just
you.
saying
Wack,
when you
let
on
me
Napoleon,
camera and everybody like fuck that, we ain't going to trial.
No,
You gonna
Napoleon.
sign that paperwork.
Napoleon, I
Napoleon,
hear you,
you
and I'm
coming
trying
from
to
yeah,
you
they
do.
coming from a
told, they
civilian
Hold
told
on.
standpoint though.
already.
You
I'm
supposed to
trying to
think
Like
like
kill
that,
that,
two
man. Get
Napoleon.
out
birds
of
with
here,
one
bro.
stone
one
Bro.
at a
right now,
time.
right?
Bro, get out
I'm
of
trying
here.
to kill Napoleon. Walk with me, right? I'm trying to
Yeah,
kill two birds with one stone.
right.
600. How do you see that? We all know, all three of our attorneys can talk to each other. We all know that all our names are in all our documents, and we got to sign this to avoid the dub. And all of us, I said, Luce, what's happening? Fuck it, I'm signing it. You sign it. We sign it. Okay, cool. Right?
So if we all did that, we all snitched on each other according to the street rules, and that's
That's
just
a
how it
fact.
is.
That's a fact.
Now, if that's what happened, this hypothetical story that we just made up, if that's based on what they did, they told, and it is just what it is. Now, they probably won't get too much pressure from regular people because they was all in agreements. They'll
Yeah.
get
Now,
what
if
you
one
call
of
a
them
pass. Like,
people, I will tell you this, Napoleon, if one of them people get out of jail and say that ain't how it happened, it debunks everything. Now, outside of that, I'm gonna go to what you were saying, Napoleon.
Right.
Motherfucker, you looking at 20 years, 30 years, and all
No,
three of y'all
life.
life, and all three of y'all gotta agree to this, and they're documenting it the way they're documenting it for
And
their
it's on
own
camera. And
reasons.
it's on camera.
Yeah, and for their own reasons, I'm gonna say this, and I think I'm gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouth because I've revisited a lot of things when it comes to the streets, and as we all have, um, maybe some of this shit as stipulated, some of these things might need to be refreshing and revisited to where if two crimies are in agreement to sign a document with both their names on it, which we would see as, well, you told on him, right? And you told on him, but they're doing it to avoid a life sentence of 20 years, and both people are in agreement. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, bro. Maybe some of this shit need to be revisited and redetermined on really what that means.
so let me just say something. Like I was saying, I would just give you a straight answer based on the
Yeah,
streets.
yeah,
Me personally, I wouldn't be mad at those individuals if they all in agreements. If they all in agreement to that, I wouldn't persecute. I wouldn't say y'all snitched on each other. They all in agreements to get up out of this the best way we can. If they know they all caught dead bang. Now, me personally, I don't want to even be in them questions. I don't want to be in allegations. I would separate
yeah.
myself from the case. I don't know nothing. I don't know who that is. Give me what you gonna give me. But that's
Lou,
what you sign up for when you sign
yeah,
up for this street
for
stuff.
these streets. And this is why we tell the youth, Napoleon, me personally, everybody on this panel, hey, don't get involved in these streets because the rules is unorthodox. They don't make sense when it comes to certain things. You from Detroit, so you get it, right?
Right.
You're in a lose-lose situation.
You're in a
Let me,
lose. How do you see it? Me, you, and 600, we looking at 50. They said, all right, we'll give you all 10, but all y'all gotta agree to this document, and on it say, I gave instructions, 600 was the driver, you was the gunman on your document. On my document, it reads the same. On 600 document, it reads the same.
right.
All our attorneys is talking to each other through us. Lieutenant said, if you would it, he would it. 600 said, Wack said, you would it, he would it. To avoid the trial facing life, y'all get the 10, y'all go upstate.
Right.
What's your feeling on that?
Okay, so
My
you're
feeling,
asking me?
my
Loose.
Oh,
no, no. Okay, my feeling would be like I'm not being in nobody's paperwork. So if we
Got
can't get it, if we can't
you. We going to
figure it
trial.
out, it's trial. That's
Got you.
it.
Got you. Okay, go ahead, Napoleon.
yeah. But see, here's the thing. I hear what you're saying. Okay. I understand it. But and it's easy for you to say that when you sitting out here in your car and you just chilling. But the
But hold on,
reality
I've
of
been
Napoleon.
in
it,
those situations.
Hold on,
Yeah,
okay, so let me ask
Napoleon.
you
everybody
a
I've
on
been to
here.
question.
the pen.
Let,
I've
let
been
me
Let me just
shot.
right.
I've been through all that.
okay. Look,
Okay.
let me
Go
just
ahead.
say this.
I'm
Let's
gonna
not
let you go
say.
ahead.
Let,
Let's
let
just
him
not
finish.
say
Six.
what.
Let him finish. Let,
Oh,
let him.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna finish. I'm not gonna forget what I'm gonna
Go ahead.
say. Go ahead.
okay. So let's just say let's forget about if we in this situation or not. In those documents, the Pt2 documents, is that what happened? They all
What do you
agreed that
mean?
they were all. Did they all agree that they were all involved?
It was on camera.
Okay,
It was
I'm not
on
asking what was on
camera.
camera.
Okay,
I don't care
Napoleon,
about.
let me explain
He's
something to you.
We're
Right.
not
This
missing.
is
He's
asking what's
what
not
on
you're
telling
dealing
camera.
you
with,
that.
Napoleon. Hold
Right.
on, this is what
But
you're dealing with.
I'm gonna answer a question.
Napoleon,
I know
if
what he's
our
asking.
wives walked in and saw us fucking a woman, and she gave us the opportunity to get dressed and walk out to get in the car and leave, we're gonna tell our wife that wasn't us.
No,
This
I
is what
understand
you're
Facts.
that.
dealing with,
Right.
right?
Right.
So whether it's on camera or not, right? We are trained and we are committed to these politics to say all
Thank you
we
for our
see
grades.
is us, right?
Right.
This is
Right.
the streets, right?
hmm
Now, I'm gonna say something at closing when we get to that point, and I'm just
Let
gonna
me
stand on what I'm
can I
saying.
ask can let me just can I finish the question? What you actually asked me before? Okay. So your question is, if everybody's paperwork says the exact same thing, and this is a very, very important point. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
something that y'all have to understand about this particular case. Nobody else's name is in that paperwork. Nobody else's name that's not sitting right there is in that paperwork whatsoever. So if you're saying, and I'm gonna be 100. Listen, I'm trying not to, I hear what people are saying about like people paperwork and things like that, but you're talking about something very, very different. You're talking about a piece of paper that is prepared by the government where they're saying that if they were to go to trial, this is what they're saying that they would be able to prove. Okay? It's
Did
not that
So that's
you're
okay to
saying it,
snitch.
huh?
Okay,
Let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question real quick. All right, so the dude who got shot, right? What happened to him?
He testified at the sentencing hearing.
Okay, because in that paperwork, right? Another thing that's in that factual proffer is they admitting that they was going to buy drugs from him, right? They admitted that,
No,
right?
no, that's
In the
not in the
factual
paperwork.
in the factual proffer, it says that.
No,
It says
I
they
mean,
went to
listen,
buy.
it's
It says they went to purchase marijuana and codeine.
in the factual proffer. Let me pull
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
You the attorney. You should know.
so like I was saying, why you pull that up, right?
Like
Um, if that's the
600.
case, if
Are
they
y'all
all
really
agree to
are
that,
y'all really playing games with this? Cuz he's
no,
the
I'm not. No,
no,
attorney. He
no,
know.
Ghost,
I'm just
Ghost,
making it
listen,
simple. I'm just
Lose,
making it
Ghost just
simple
put
for
it in
people.
front of him, so he got to go get it. Like
Yeah.
Ghost got the
So while
paperwork.
he's getting that, I'm just saying this. Um, if that's just the messed up rules that we got involved in the street stuff. They were trying to get the best deal for themselves and be in agreements to that. So they say, okay, cool. We're not telling nobody else. We caught dead bang. We're gonna agree to this and get the best deal.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm not caught dead bang
I'm
if
not.
they got a
I'm not
video
saying
camera.
you are.
I'm not
That's.
pointing myself out. Like,
I'm
come
just
on.
putting
Nobody
everything
pointed.
You
on the
gonna point
Nobody
table.
had to
yourself
say
out and be like,
anything.
No,
oh
no,
yeah,
no,
there was the
Well,
other
Lose,
two?
hold on, Lose. Let me
no,
correct you in
Luz.
that.
I'm just putting
You
everything
take
on the
opposite
table.
what you did and be good, right? But the minute you say, yeah, he did this, he did that,
That's
and I
not what
did
happened.
this.
That's not what happened.
Okay, no,
Okay,
we just have
the only way
to.
we can get to the bottom of this is this. We got to get the actual document of what they agreed to.
Well,
That's the only way we
Well,
can
no,
stop
he's
it.
sending that. Ghost
Okay.
has the other
Right.
documents, and Napoleon. I want to touch base
Tell me
with
what.
what
Tell
he's
give me
saying.
tell him to give me a docket entry number. How about that?
Hold
Because I
on.
got the case pulled up. Since you got a document, give me the docket entry number.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, not yet.
Um, is that work you saying, Ghost?
That's that. Yeah, that's it.
So while they're
United
finding that,
States of America versus Latrell
Napoleon,
Williams Robert.
Yep, that's it.
while they're finding
That's
that,
his factual
Case
proffer and
number
that's his plea agreement.
21. Hold on 1 second. 21-20357 CR Moore/Lewis is what
Right.
that is, Napoleon.
That's the case number, and the Moore is the judge.
Okay, what else do you want on that? I'm just giving
Well,
it to
what's
you.
the? I want to know that it should have a. It should say DE something at the top of it. It should say docket entry number something. D pop period E period. Then it should have a number on it.
Hey, case number, defendant number, factual. This is the factual proffer I'm looking at. Enter on FLDS docket. That's not it. Hold on. Here, let me send it to you, brother. I'm just gonna send it to you so you have it. So you ain't gotta be.
Does it say document number at the top?
I'm about to send it to you right now.
All right.
You get that?
Hold on one second. You texted to me or you?
I
Yeah, I got
text
it. Hold on
you.
one second.
I'm gonna see you another one. Ghost, that's those 2 PDFs you sent earlier, right?
Yeah, that's both of them. Yeah.
There you have it. Lewis, let me send it to you in 600 so y'all have it.
All right. But yeah,
Did the
Napoleon, it's
I got it. Right. I got it.
did the victim who got shot, did he ever get charged at all with anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And do you see the victim's name in his factual proffer? Nope.
Nah, the victim name definitely ain't in there.
Right. Do you see anybody else's name other than the 3 people who got together and was like, we ain't going to trial on this shit? Nope.
So let me clear this up, Napoleon. You're saying even in their agreement paperwork not to go to trial, the other 2 people names was not in Pooh's paperwork.
What other 2 people?
The other 2 is Cody's.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm just telling you that there's nobody's name in the paperwork except the people who agreed that we ain't going to trial.
So that's the Cody's and Pooh. They're
So let me
all
ask
in
you a
each
question.
other's paperwork, is what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question really quickly.
Okay.
Did you see the video?
Definitely, yeah, I saw the video.
How many people were there?
It was more than 3 people.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that the government was interested in figuring out who those people were?
No, they was interested in Pooh and who was with him.
Okay. And who was with who? How many people?
I can't tell you how many of them people was actually with him and wasn't with him.
Okay. And then how many people were with the other people? It was at least
It
10
was
people out there,
it was
right?
about 10 people out there, yeah.
Okay, so if it's 10 people out there and he supposedly snitched, what happened to those other people? Why they didn't get charged? If
I
he
don't know.
told on everybody.
Did he know their
okay.
identity?
Okay, Napoleon.
Come on,
Napoleon.
Are
bro.
we on
I don't,
trial?
Napoleon. I don't think no one's saying that he told on everybody. It's kind
No,
of
we're
like
not saying that.
yeah. I don't think that
We're
no
not
one's saying
saying
that he
that.
told on
What,
everybody.
what we're trying to clear up
Okay.
is the proper word in his paperwork. And we're trying to clear it as if what you're telling us that it was the word was used on the government side of what they found out.
Of what they believe that they were going to prove at trial. That is
Exactly.
literally what it says. You agree that the government would thinks that they can prove these particular facts at trial. And let me clear something up. Let me be crystal clear. If what you're saying is, according to y'all, nobody can plead guilty if they have a code D. In other words, because I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 20
No,
years.
no, no. What I'm saying is, if you from these streets, your guilty plea
That's
cannot involve you giving information on anybody other than yourself.
They didn't give information. They never talked to the government. They never sat down with the government. This is what the government claimed that they were going to prove. And this is a very important point. They never gave these names. It's not like they were like, oh yeah, that's Bobby Brown right there. Oh yeah, that's Pooh Shiesty right there. Oh yeah, that's Jaden DeRosa. That never happened.
No, but
So
see, this the thing, Napoleon. Like we all understand exactly what you present and exactly what you're trying to say, right? But this the problem, right? The mass majority of people and niggas who street niggas and shit like that, they hear that word proffer and then they look at this factual proffer and it has other names in it with Pooh Shiesty's name on the factual proffer signed at the bottom. A lot of people gonna look at that as he told. Like what we talking about right now, I understand what you're saying. Wack understand what you're saying. 600 understand. Loose understand. But a lot of people is not gonna dig this deep into it. They're gonna hear factual proffer and they're gonna see what we saw, bro. And they're gonna assume that's snitching. Facts.
Well, then nobody can plead guilty in federal court if that's the case. That what you basically saying is that no, everybody going to trial. That's what you're saying.
No, you can plead guilty as long as what you're pleading guilty to and what you're agreeing to are statements against you and you only on this
No, but
side of it.
basically, in the thing, he's saying that it's a statement saying we could prove this is you, and this is him on camera, doing this robbery. So if you don't want to go to trial, you have to admit and say this was everybody else,
Is
right?
that what you're saying,
Is that
Napoleon?
what happened?
That is not what I'm saying. Nobody got there and admitted anything. Nobody said
No, no, no.
anything.
It's not about saying or admit it. It's in the documents. Is it
In the
saying
Hey,
that
document that they
all
pled
three?
out to.
Yeah.
and
Let me break it down.
my plea, Shiesty name ain't in there. You know what I'm saying? I got all paperwork. Shiesty name ain't in my paperwork. So
Okay, so
nigga go to
who are
the
we talking to?
if a nigga go to the internet and saying a nigga a rat and they did their
Hold on,
homework, you know
bro.
what I'm
Who we
saying?
talking to?
It's improper. It's improper street shit.
That's
Who are
this
You
we
is
know what I'm
talking
saying?
to? Who is
that's
this?
Bobby Brown.
That's Bobby Brown. Okay, great.
It's
I'm
bank.
glad you here. So, when you saying in your plea, Bobby Brown, you only
That
pled to what you did, right?
All my shit. All my shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie, like really, for you to really have a nigga on this motherfucker and this some bullshit, you really need to be paying a nigga to be on this shit. Nigga time ain't just no free time, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm getting prosecuted by a prosecutor again. What's up with you?
Well, I don't even know how you ended up on here,
I
but
gotta
you
answer
on here.
questions to a nigga I don't know. Who is you?
I don't know how'd you get on here.
You know what I'm saying? What you mean?
I don't know how you got on here.
You bringing up a situation that got something to do with me, my nigga.
Well,
Okay,
get your
great.
bitch ass off the
Hold on,
motherfucking
no, we're
screen,
not gonna
then,
do.
nigga.
What
Hold
you
on.
mean?
But that ain't
You a
what we
Nigga,
bitch,
here
get your
nigga.
for.
bitch ass off the
Fuck
motherfucking
wrong with you,
screen,
nigga. Go
then,
do your
nigga.
Hold on,
homework,
Who
hoe
told
ass
you to
nigga.
hold
get on
on.
here
Fuck
in the
wrong
That
with you.
ain't
first
what we
place,
here
bitch
for,
ass
bro.
nigga?
Yeah,
Look,
so hoe
that
ass
ain't
just
what
nigga
Shut
your
talk
your
to a
body.
bitch
nigga,
ass
address
up,
you, bitch
nigga.
ass boy. Nigga don't
Hold
even
on.
know
Get off
you,
of it,
nigga.
then, bitch.
Hold
Get
on,
off
Bitch
of it,
look.
ass
then, bitch.
sorry nigga.
Nigga, don't
Hold
take
on,
he
one mic.
Yeah,
prosecuting, nigga.
Yo, that ain't
fuck
what
wrong
we
with
here
you.
for, bro. Bobby, slow down a little bit. Your energy is a little off. We not here
Nah,
to
I'm
say
cool.
you.
I'm cool. I'm vibing.
Okay,
Nigga just came
okay, but
disrespectful
chill
at
out
me.
because
Tell your
we got
man
some
to calm
questions.
down.
Listen, we got. If you don't want to be here, that's cool. You got the right to
Nah,
leave.
I
We
got
ain't
on
here.
her. I got on her just because I'm telling you what's going on. Like
Okay.
I got a little free time for you right now before I go
Oh,
do
that's
what I'm
cool.
doing.
So
But I'm just
listen.
saying though.
So what?
I'm just saying.
Listen.
I just was listening and niggas say, oh, the most the majority of the world gonna see this and see that and then just make an accusation. You know what I'm
That's
saying? But
real.
you niggas doing y'all, you niggas got time on y'all hands, so y'all supposed to do y'all homework before y'all even bring some shit up like that.
We
That's what I'm
did.
saying.
When you sit on, let me ask you
On some young
something.
nigga to some
Wait,
old
wait,
nigga
wait. Where'd you just
shit.
do your time at?
I don't
Was
respect
you at
it.
a
Like y'all niggas
USP?
got time. Y'all niggas know to go do
Wait,
homework fully.
did you just do your time at a USP?
You said what, P?
Did you just do your time at a USP?
Nah, I ain't do no time in no USP.
Okay,
Shiesty did though.
so, so,
I was with niggas that came from USP. I'm in that motherfucker
okay,
with real life, letting life check. I'm only letting
okay.
niggas
So
that
look.
got paperwork check my paperwork.
So
You know
here
what I'm
goes
saying?
the thing, right? Here goes the thing. You understand when somebody sees proffer, right, in paperwork, what's the first thought?
I don't know what's a nigga thought. This is my first time
See,
going
then
fed.
you ain't.
I
You
don't
gotta
go
be
out what a
real
nigga
right
think.
now.
I go out what just happened. I'm going off a real experience, my nigga. I'm fresh off the
So
yard.
you
You
don't
know what
know
I'm
what
saying?
a
I'm going
nigga
off a
thought
real
is when they
experience.
see proffer. See,
You
we
said what?
cleared it up by keeping it real, bro. Like you coming in hot, and that ain't what this is, right?
Nah, I ain't coming in hot. Your man just disrespecting me. They
You know,
raised my
y'all
meter.
disrespected each other, right?
Yeah, I
So
did
we
that, but who
passed
did
that.
it first though?
Then we passed that. But listen, when a person sees safety valve, which Pooh doesn't have a safety valve, I'm just speaking in general, or proffer in a
You
federal
said what?
penitentiary, when anybody sees safety valve or proffer, Pooh don't got a safety valve, I'm just speaking in general, off the rip, they think you cooperated.
But what? But let me ask you a question, bro. And this is an
What up?
honest to God question.
What up?
What do we define as cooperating? Like that's what I'm trying to
Cooperating is
figure out.
anytime you give law enforcement information on anybody other than yourself.
Okay, but that's my point. They didn't give law enforcement.
This is my lawyer on her. What my John said? I ain't had no nigga name and nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't. Your name
Any crime I
not
ever
your name
did,
not in question.
Any crime I ever did, I did that shit dolo, Pete. It was my first time ever having a co-defendant. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So Napoleon, let's get back to what you're saying.
Hmm.
You're saying in the documents, right? Nowhere in Pooh Shiesty's documents is this individual's name or the other Cody name. Pooh Shiesty only agreed to what he did, right?
The government only wanted people to agree to what they did. Nobody asked anybody to point a finger at anything. That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
tell
we're
y'all.
not saying that. What I'm saying, let me slow it down. In Pooh Shiesty's document that he signed, everything written in that document is pertaining to him and him only.
No.
Who just said that? Who just said no?
This ghost in the document in that factual proffer that he signed, it say all three of their names. It say all three of them committed the crime. That's what it say.
Hey, Bobby, what's up, brother?
Wait, let
600. Hey,
Napoleon
so
clear this shit
do
up.
you
What's up, big?
remember? Do you remember the document that you signed
Do I
to take your
remember?
plea?
Shit, my lawyer right here, shit, hell yeah, he can pull that shit up. What you mean?
Oh,
Where's
Shit, y'all want
what's
to
okay.
the
see that
lawyer
shit, nigga?
name?
Hey Bobby,
Shit,
did
nigga,
you
we can
did you
pull that
Me,
shit
I
did you
up.
was
did you
part of the
did you
team.
ever
It was
did
a
you
team
ever
of
Oh,
proffer?
us.
you his lawyer too,
Yeah.
Napoleon?
Bobby,
Yeah, this
did you
my
ever
lawyer,
proffer? Did you
Napoleon,
ever
bitch.
proffer with the government?
Nigga, for only shit that I did, only crimes I ever did by
No,
myself,
no,
Pete.
listen what I'm saying, bro. All I'm asking, did you ever speak to the government?
I
Did
ain't
you
never
ever
had no conversation, sit down, never went in an interrogation room or none of that.
they
Decline
never
all this
asked you
shit.
no questions? They
I
never asked you
decline
no
all
questions?
this shit.
Okay.
Decline this shit. Decline. You ain't automatic. You ain't mandatory. It ain't mandatory for you to sit down with nobody. I'm gonna tell
So
y'all this
look,
now.
Bobby.
You
So
know what I'm
Bobby,
saying?
let me
It,
ask
it's
you a
what's going
question,
on.
Bobby. Bobby, in your
Hey Wack,
agreement that
hey Wack, hey Wack. You got, hey, I ain't gonna lie, you got like 3 more minutes. I'm about to charge you for this shit, bro.
that's cool.
You the first person interviewing me. I could have did some interviews and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple
Hey
thousand out this
brother,
shit.
I've been
What's
in
up?
there
What you
with
got for me,
Napoleon.
P?
I'm glad. Listen, Bobby, I'm
What you
glad
got
you
for me?
listen. I'm glad you showed up, right? So my
I need
question
a
to you
payment
is,
from you, bro.
listen, because Napoleon has a document. So in your document that you signed, the only name in that document is your name, correct?
Napoleon, hey, what's up? You got the documents, on?
Yeah, I got it.
You don't remember what you signed?
You got the documents, Pete?
See, this is what you got to understand, Wack. When they
I'm just
walk
trying to
into,
clear it up, bro,
I
because
know, but I'm trying to clear that for you. What you have to
go ahead,
understand
brother.
is
Go ahead.
when you get this document, you literally coming out the back in handcuffs, and you're like, all right, well, we ain't going to trial. You'll sign any damn thing that they
No,
put
no,
in
no,
front
no,
of
no,
you.
no, 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 no,
Nah, nigga ain't signing anything.
no,
Right. I'm not saying
no,
anything, but
Hey,
no.
you
See now,
listen,
wait,
listen.
see. I asked Bobby the question, and he said my attorney got the document. So when I asked you this question, now Napoleon, you
every
telling me when you
it's
coming
back.
out of handcuffs, you're gonna sign anything. So I'm gonna slow it down. The document that was signed.
Hmm.
This particular document for Bobby and or Pooh Shiesty, the document they put their signature to, the only names in in that document was their individual name.
For
Yes or
crime,
no?
it's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference. Let me break something down to you, Wack.
Go
All
ahead.
right, let's say you got, if me and you co-defendants. You know what I'm
I
saying?
really would like a yes or no though before you break it down,
Nah,
Napoleon.
you gotta, cause you like, I'm finna tell you something about it. If we co-defendants,
Go,
boom. You ain't never
go ahead.
been to the Fed. So your name automatic gonna be in my shit, co-defendant. First two, number one, number two, number three, or whatever, co-conspirators. That's how this shit go. But when you come down
Exactly.
to a factual proffer, it's saying, like, all right, what's the facts? What did you do singly? What did you do singly? All my shit, all my crimes say singly, sir. Singly. Bobby Brown, singly. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So you only
Singly. You see what I'm
signed,
saying? Then this
yeah,
shit on
Bob. You
camera.
only signed,
This shit on camera. So this shit on camera. You got rats pointing the nigga out saying,
yeah.
yeah, this man right here shot
So
me. Yeah, this
so
man
wait
right
up.
here shot me. Then the footage.
Let me
Come
break it
on now.
down. You're saying, and Napoleon, correct me if I'm wrong. The
Nah,
overall paperwork.
Wack, fuck that.
ho-
You reaching, bro.
hold on, slow down, bro. We
Nah, you
almost got this
reaching,
shit
champ.
clear,
Champ,
bro,
listen, on
bro,
hunters, bro. You
bro.
reaching.
Slow
You
down,
reaching. What you
homie.
reaching for?
Who
Slow
was that?
What you
down.
reaching for? What you
Yo, mute
reaching
dude,
for?
bro.
What you
You
Man,
mad
nigga don't,
for,
hey, listen,
nigga?
bro. We
What
in
are
the
you
yo,
city,
mad for?
bro.
Because you was
hey, yo,
telling.
listen, yo,
Y'all was
Bobby. So what you
cooperating.
saying is, look, the overall document is gonna have everybody involved, but the
I'm trying
document
to
you
see
signed.
I'm trying to see what you
Listen,
implicating though.
no,
I'm
listen
saying
to
what
me.
you implicating though.
The homie, let me speak. The
I'm
overall
letting you
document,
speak.
it's gonna have everybody involved. But what you signed broke down only what you did, right?
So you ain't do your homework before you call my nigga
I
rat and
did.
say you a rat?
I'm trying to put clarity to it.
Come on, man. You supposed to did some clarity before you ever went to the
So this
motherfucking
was
internet.
crazy. Hey,
That's
look,
what
bro.
I'm
Yo,
trying
so
to tell you. You know what I'm
Napoleon,
saying?
I'm
Clear
coming
that shit
back
up
to
and tell
you.
a nigga that you ain't gonna do your homework. You just talking.
No, we got the paperwork, bro. We sending him
You
the
know what I'm
paperwork.
saying? So
So Napoleon,
you got shiesty paperwork with my name in it. That's what you saying.
we got shiesty paperwork, right?
You got
So
shiesty paperwork with my name in it.
Napoleon,
That's
You
is
what
want me
what
to
I'm
I'm
read it
that's what I'm
for
saying.
trying
you?
to see. That's what you trying to
Slow
tell
down,
me.
slow down.
You got shiesty paperwork with my name in it.
Ghost, you want to read it to him?
Yeah, you want
Come
me to
on,
read it to
man.
you right quick?
I
Shit,
mean, I'm
yeah.
trying to go another way with it, but fuck it, we'll go your way.
No, so listen, man. Listen.
Hold on, hold
Here's
on,
the
hold on, hold on,
overall.
hold on.
Napoleon,
I'm gonna
like,
read it for
did
him
you
right
hear the
quick.
Listen.
question I asked Napoleon? I'm
Yeah.
saying the document is going to have everybody involved, but the ones they signed singled out what they did individually. Is that what I'm hearing?
What the document says is that this is what the government is intending to prove if they were to go to trial. That's what the document says. It's basically where the government is making the allegations. That's what y'all are missing.
No,
It's
no,
not
no. I
what
hear you. They
they are
never went to trial,
saying, huh?
but they never went to trial. But the document was signed, right?
The document basically says this is what the government believes that it's going to prove. That's what it
Okay,
says. It
That's
doesn't
okay.
he's asking,
say.
was the document signed? That's all he's asking.
Listen, man, I didn't say what I already said. I understand what. Listen, you know what, bro? Let me say something, and I shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all 100. If we are that damn stupid as a people, or we
Mm-hmm.
talking about these like, oh well, if we all together and like we can't even admit what we did to so that we can not spend the rest
Napoleon,
of
they
life
goddamn
in
stupid, brother.
jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Napoleon.
they goddamn
I'm
We
gonna
stupid.
say
we
we because
we
I
got
was in the streets
problems,
The,
too.
bro.
the
No,
streets is
Napoleon,
goddamn
Napoleon,
stupid.
hear me out,
Oh,
bro.
I
I
know.
step back.
That's how stupid
I
the
Facts.
don't.
street
But see,
fools
I don't
is,
agree
bro.
with y'all though. I don't
No,
think
no,
everybody is that
Napoleon, hear me
stupid.
out. Hear me
Because
out.
guess what? There have been millions of people plead
Napoleon, hear
guilty
me
every
out,
day
bro.
to the same
This
thing.
is
So the
why I
streets,
said, yo,
this is
Napoleon, this
yeah.
is why you heard me say